Quote of the day. Some days you bloom, some days you root. Both are growing. Don't rush the story. That was the quote of the day. Anyhow, let's get into this video. Saturday night main event was an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster. This was a joke. Like, bruv, how do you have a 2-hour show with only 4 matches? Like, there was no promos, no nothing. How is it only 4 matches on a 2-hour show? And like, there was no promos eating up the time or anything. There was nothing. Like, how is that even possible? That shows you how much ads was on the show. You know how ad riddled it was. How much of our time they wasted. Like, we literally got 4 matches and nothing else. 4 matches and ads. That's what this Saturday night main event was. 4 matches and just ads and filler and nonsense. This was absurd, dude. This was a disaster. But before I go off at the beginning, let's just talk about what happened overall, though. Then we'll get into a whole rant. So the first match of the night, we kicked off with Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. So it was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. And we had Jelly Roll and Logan Paul ringside. In this match itself, it was very quick and very disappointing. It was as disappointing as it was quick, you know? Drew literally got beat and got pinned with 1 RKO. And I'm like, how are you going to have Drew lose with 1 RKO while you have Cody Rhodes over here is eating and tanking 10 different RKOs and he's kicking out of it? Like, make it make sense, you know? Like, come on. Make it make sense. Drew loses with 1 RKO, but Cody can tank 10 different RKOs in one match and still kick out and still win. Come on, bro. Like, I don't even mind Randy winning. I don't mind Randy winning at all. I just don't like how it happened. I just don't like how it was booked. Like, have some consistency, you know? But overall, though, for this match, the ending was probably like the most entertaining part, and not, you know, where Randy won. No, it was what happened after the match where Jelly Roll and Logan Paul got involved and stuff like that. The little brawl, that was the most entertaining part. The Logan Paul and Jelly Roll shenanigans, that was the interesting part. But overall, though, let's get into some highlights. So some highlights were that Drew McIntyre hit 2 of Randy Orton's side slams on the announce table. He hit those side slams on Randy Orton, and he side slammed Randy Orton into the announcer's table twice. Randy Orton hit his signature scoop side slam, power slam. Randy Orton then got revenge on Drew McIntyre, and he hit his side slam on Drew McIntyre 3 times on the announcer's table, back to back, just to prove a point. Randy Orton ended up hitting his draping DDT. Drew McIntyre hit a Claymore kick off of a distraction from Logan Paul. Jelly Roll then ends up shoving Logan Paul for the distraction, interfering. Randy Orton then uses that distraction to hit Drew McIntyre with an RKO, pins him 1, 2, 3, and that's how the match ends. Randy wins via distraction and hits an RKO on Drew McIntyre. 1 singular RKO on the Scottish psychopath, and that's how the match ends. After the match, though, Randy Orton is like, you know, celebrating. Drew McIntyre rolls out of the ring. Randy Orton is celebrating. Out of nowhere, Logan Paul comes in and he just starts attacking Randy Orton. He starts beating down Randy Orton. And Jelly Roll has enough of this. He can't watch it anymore. He gets in the ring. He ends up, you know, pulling Logan Paul off. He throws Logan Paul like halfway across the ring. Then he socks Logan Paul square in his mouth. You know, he gets one good punch in and hits Logan Paul right in his mouth. And I really enjoyed that. And I will not tell you how many times I replayed it, but it was more than once. That's all you need to know, you know? The amount of times I replayed that moment is my business. No, I'm kidding. But like, man, I enjoyed that punch. And after this, though, Jelly Roll ends up punching Logan Paul, and Logan Paul rolls out of the ring. And while Jelly Roll is checking on Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere, and he hits Jelly Roll with a Claymore kick straight to the side of the head, and he leaves Jelly Roll laid out in the middle of the ring. And then we had ring announcers, the GMs, security, referees running down to check on Jelly Roll, Randy Orton checking on Jelly Roll, and it was just a cool moment. After this match happened, we got a huge brawl between Jade Cargill and Naomi for whatever reason, and it was like the silliest thing ever. Not the brawl overall, it was a good brawl, you know, I don't mind it, but it was like the outcome of it. So this brawl was to set up that they were going to have a guest referee at the all-women's premium live event Evolution. So it was announced after Naomi and Jade Cargill brawl, after that whole thing happened, it's announced that, Nick Aldis, I believe, comes out. He was like, you know, I have a big announcement at the all-women's premium live event at Evolution. This match, it can't be a normal match. No, we need someone to, you know, call it right down the middle. I'm like, okay, you need someone to call it right down the middle. How it is, sure. Somebody impartial. Then he says, you know, we're gonna have a special guest referee, Bianca Belair. I'm like, how is this impartial? How is this right down the middle? Like, man, whatever. But after that, though, Bianca Belair ends up coming out. We get like an entrance from her, and then she comes out, just to make her presence felt and her presence known. So now at Evolution, the all women's premium live event, it's gonna be Naomi versus Jade Cargill in a no holds barred match with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. And Bianca Belair is the special guest referee for whatever reason. If you're looking for sense, you're not gonna find it here because I still don't know why. But after that, though, we got our second match of the night, and it was Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso, Big Jim Uso, Big Jim, Solo Sikoa versus Big Jim for the United States Championship. And Solo Sikoa had his MFTs ringside. The MFT stands for My Family Tree, and so Solo Sikoa came out with his MFTs to face Jim Uso for the United States Championship. And this was our second match of the night, and this match literally happened 50 minutes deep into the show. Like, Randy Orton's match was over, the Randy versus Drew match was over quickly, and the Brawl segment was super quick. And then after that, we got ads and ads and ads and video packages and nonsense. And like this match literally took place like 50 minutes deep into the Saturday night main event, show. I'm like, dude, how? This is the second match and you're telling me it's 50 minutes deep into the show? Come on. Like, this shows you how much nonsense and how much of our time they wasted on this show, dude. Like, this new era is just insane. Like, the ads, the video packages, the nonsense, the wasting of time, it's getting out of hand, man. But this match itself, it was good for what it was, like, in ring wise, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Jimmy Uso's move set. I enjoyed the moves he pulled out. I enjoyed Solo Sikoa's move sets. The little moves he pulled out, the little story that they tried to tell in the ring. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything amazing, anything, mind blowing, anything memorable. I'm sure I'm going to forget about this in the next hour after I make this review. Like, no joke. But anyhow, though, the match itself, like I said, it was good for what it was. I'll give a little credit where it's due there. But the ending, though, the ending was, man, the ending was iffy. The ending was a real head scratcher, and the brawl that occurred after the match was, I don't know, it was just decent. The brawl, it was like everything about the show like was just iffy. It was just a head scratcher. It's like, what, why? But anyhow, let's just get into some highlights. So Jimmy Uso hit a suicide dive onto Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa hit his spinning solo, his finisher. Jimmy Uso kicks out of it. We got interference from the MFTs, to no one's surprise, to no avail. We all knew it was only a matter of time, Jimmy Uso ended up hitting a German suplex on Solo Sikoa on the ring apron, which looked pretty gnarly. Jimmy Uso hit an Uso splash. Jimmy Uso hit a off-the-top rope corkscrew splash onto Solo Sikoa and the MFTs. And Solo steals the win at the end of the match by a roll-up. He ends up rolling up Jimmy Uso because Solo Sikoa is so weak, he can't beat Jimmy Uso by himself anymore or cleanly. He had to beat Jimmy Uso via roll-up due to a distraction from Talatanga. And I'm like, really? That's how he wins? That's how the leader of the MFTs, the Bloodline 2.0, that's how he has to win via roll-up? He can't even win by himself? After he just finished eating up like 2 pins, one after the other, after he just lost twice. I'm like, man, I was like, really? Like, I don't even mind Solo retaining, but like, you can just have him like spike Jimmy Uso and that's it. Like, man. But anyhow, though, after the match ends, the MFTs end up getting in the ring and they start jumping and absolutely destroying Jimmy Uso. And for whatever reason, Jacob Fatu was backstage, but he waited until after they were completely done with Jimmy Uso. When there was nothing left, there was like no breath left in Jimmy Uso. When Jimmy Uso was like basically dead, that's when he decided to come out and that's when his music hit. And I was laughing. I'm like, come on, dude. You wait until he's absolutely out for the count and that's when you come out. But after that, though, Jacob Fatu ends up coming out, and Jacob Fatu by himself, the one-man army, he clears out everyone. The whole MFT, Solo Sikoa, he clears out everyone, even Talatanga. He clears out everyone single-handedly by himself. And I'm like, really? It's one man. I get that you're trying to make him look strong. That's fine, but it's one man. It's one man. There's no way he should be clearing out the whole MFT by himself, dude. Come on. Like, this group just looks silly now and unserious. Like, what's the point of having Talatanga there? The big dude. Come on. But whatever, though. After this, we got a backstage interview segment with Randy Orton and Jelly Roll, and this interview segment took place basically just to announce a match that will be happening at SummerSlam. So it's confirmed that at SummerSlam, we'll get a match where it will be Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. So Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. And whoop whoop, I guess. I'm sure somebody's excited about this. Not I. I don't know why. Don't ask me because I don't know. But it's happening at SummerSlam. After this, we got our third match of the night. It was Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. And LA Knight, surprisingly, after the whole attack from, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed on Friday night, literally yesterday, at the time I'm recording this, it was literally yesterday, like less than 24 hours ago, literally yesterday, after that malicious attack, that vicious attack, LA Knight just comes out unbothered, unscathed, unscratched, uninjured. He walks to the ring like he's 100%, doesn't sell the injury, doesn't do anything. He just walks out like he's just 100%, like the attack didn't mean anything. And I'm like, I see this man walking out, uninjured, not limping, not nothing, not even grabbing his ribs. And I'm like, dude, like, what was the point of that whole segment of him getting attacked? Just to waste people's time? Like, because we get to the match, he's not even selling it. Like, the announcers literally had to announce that LA Knight had a rib injury because he wasn't selling it. Like, it was like right at the end of the match, like near the end of the match, I think Michael Cole was like, oh, the ribs are really affecting LA Knight. And I'm like, really? Could have fooled me. Where? When? Dude. But anyhow, though. That just really just bothered me because I'm like, what was the point of that whole segment of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed coming out and attacking them if it led to nothing? Like, they didn't even sell the injury. But anyhow, though, some highlights from this match were that LA Knight hit a flying clothesline onto Seth Rollins off of the announcer's table, which looked pretty cool. LA Knight hit a lariat clothesline and a top rope elbow drop off the top rope. Seth Rollins hit the buckle bomb move on LA Knight, where he picks you up in the powerbomb position and sends you flying towards the turnbuckles. And like I said, the announcers had to announce that LA Knight had injured ribs because he was not selling it, and it didn't look like it at all. The announcers had to make it known to put some meaning behind that useless attack segment that we saw. But the thing that was kind of bad about this match, like the worst part about this match, the match ended not how it was supposed to. It ended abruptly. It ended fast because Seth Rollins actually, in real life, like, not story-wise, Seth Rollins actually ended up injuring his knee off a moonsault off the ropes he tried to do. He tried to hit a moonsault on LA Knight off the ropes, and he ended up landing on his legs weirdly, and he ended up tweaking his knee. And to my knowledge, Seth Rollins' knee was already injured and messed up previously, so this just re-aggravated it, I guess. So Seth Rollins ended up getting injured in this pointless match that didn't even need to happen. That was for no stakes, no stipulations, no nothing. Seth Rollins ended up getting injured, and the match had to end very quickly, and they even changed the ending, because I'm 100% positive that Seth Rollins was actually supposed to win, but when Seth Rollins got injured, he called the refs over. Paul Heyman was checking on him, the refs was checking on him. He said he was able to continue, and then very quickly, LA Knight hit Seth Rollins with a BFT, just one singular BFT, and that's how he beat Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins was quickly carried out of the arena, or out of the ring at least, But yeah, Seth Rollins did end up tweaking his knee and injuring his knee. I hope he gets well soon. I hope it's not anything too serious. I hope he's able to make a full speed recovery and he's able to get back to doing what he loves. But the announcers were making it sound pretty serious, so he might be out for a while. I hope not, though. After this, though, we got to our main event. Literally, if you're like, whoa, how did we get here already? That was literally the whole show. Like 4 matches and straight ads. You're lucky I'm skipping the ads. I should put the ads in here. No, I'm kidding. But like, dude, like 4 matches and all ads. And we got to the main event. And I'm telling you, this main event, I'm just going to blow through it because this bothered me so much. I've never seen a match bother my soul so much. I've watched countless wrestling matches, countless WWE matches, countless NXT matches, countless AEW matches, countless TNA matches, countless wrestling matches in my days, and I've never watched a match that bothered my soul so much. This bothered me to my core. We got to our main event. It was Bill Goldberg versus the Ring General Gunther. Anyhow, though, we got the Ring General Gunther versus Bill Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship match. And I kid you not, Goldberg was literally limping out to the ring. Goldberg was limping out to the ring, making his entrance. He was limping. And by the time he finished making his entrance and he finally got into the ring, he was huffing and puffing like a big bad wolf. He was out of breath. He was tired. He was sweaty. And like, they spray water on them or whatever. I could tell when it's water, when Goldberg's literally out of breath and just sweaty. Goldberg was huffing and puffing. He was literally already done, just making the entrance. And I'm like, why is this match happening? And we get past that. I'm like, I already know he's old, whatever. He has the right to be tired. That's not the worst part. So like I said, Goldberg was already, out of breath and tired from making his entrance. Then we get to the match. The match starts. And somehow, some way, somewhere, for whatever reason, the match starts off with Goldberg absolutely manhandling Gunther. I'm like, bro, stop playing with me. Goldberg starts tossing Gunther around the ring. He starts just eating moves, no selling it, not showing any pain, anything. He just stands there. He eats the chop. Okay, boom, no sells it. He hits Gunther with a clothesline. Gunther goes down super easy, like he just got hit with a clothesline from the Big Show or something. Goldberg just Gunther just goes down, from like a simple clothesline, and then Gunther hits Goldberg with a shoulder tackle. Goldberg just stays there. He doesn't even move back. He no sells it, and Gunther falls down to the ring mat again. And I'm like, dude, and this made Gunther look so stupid and so moronic. It made Gunther look silly and like a moron, dude. I'm like, Goldberg is almost 60 years old. There is no reason, there is in no universe where Goldberg should be manhandling Gunther. Make it make sense. The ring general, you're building him up. Oh, he's been a champion for 80% of his career. Gunther. And he comes out and he gets manhandled by an almost 60-year-old man, Goldberg. Come on, dude. And like I said, Gunther looked like an absolute moron. He looked like a joke. I'm like, they booked this match like it was prime Brock Lesnar versus Dominic Mysterio or something. And dude, I was watching this match. I was so mad. I'm like, dude, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't look in the slightest bit believable. I'm like, dude, I'm so done with anything Gunther related. The booking is a joke, and Gunther is an even bigger joke, dude. Like, I'm tired of this whole Gunther's been the champion for 80% of his career thing. I'm done with he's the ring general. He's the sacred man. I'm done with that whole thing, dude. Until they start booking him better, I'm literally done with Gunther. Because this was sad. This was atrocious. This was terrible. And to make matters even worse, Gunther literally had to target an old man's injured knee. He had to target Goldberg's injured knee to get the upper hand. Like, Goldberg ends up inadvertently spearing the referee, so the referee's down, and Gunther goes and he rips off Goldberg's knee brace. He starts attacking Goldberg's knee with the knee brace. He starts kicking at it, targeting Goldberg's knee, and that's what Gunther had to do to get the upper hand. Gunther had to cheat to beat a almost 60-year-old man in Goldberg. And the worst part is, Gunther doesn't even pin Goldberg. No, Gunther literally has to choke out Goldberg for the win. Like, Gunther doesn't even pin Goldberg. He chokes Goldberg out for the win. I'm like, you can even have him pin him? Really? Dude. I'm like, dude, this bothered me so much, man. This bothered me to my core, to my soul. Like, Triple H is nothing but a bald fraud goof, dude. Triple H is a bald fraud goof. And he doesn't have the slightest bit of an idea of what he's doing. Triple H we need new booking. We need new writers. We need new something, because this was bad. This made no sense. This was a disaster, dude. This was so bad. Oh my God, dude. And that was your whole show. Gunther ended up retaining. We already know he was going to retain, but I just didn't think the match was going to be that bad. I knew it was going to be terrible. I knew the match was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Jesus Christ. But anyhow, though, Saturday Night Main Event was an absolute disaster, and there is absolutely no defending it. There is no defending this show. There's no defending it. This Saturday Night Main Event, I'm literally going to rate it a 4 out of 10. At most, at best, it was a 4 out of 10. And the worst part overall, you know what really bothered me? This was Goldberg's retirement match. I get the hype behind it. I get all this and all that. It's Goldberg's retirement match. Okay, I'll overlook a few things. But the absolute worst part is the most criminal thing I've ever seen is that we didn't even get to hear Goldberg's going away speech, his final speech. We didn't even get to hear Goldberg talk. It literally got cut short. I'm like, dude, come on. Goldberg was literally the whole focal point of Saturday Night Main Event. It was literally all, revolving around Goldberg's last match, Goldberg's retirement match. It was all about Goldberg. And we don't even get to hear the speech. And you got me messed up if you think I'm about to go on YouTube to watch it. Nope. I'm not wasting any more time on this disaster of a main event. Dude, like, Goldberg was literally the whole focal point, and we didn't even get to hear the speech. Like, man, like, watching this, I'm like, dude, I want my time back. I wasted my time, and I want my 2 hours back, honestly. That's 2 hours I'll never get back, and that's 2 hours I regret spending on Saturday Night Main Event. This was bad. This was an absolute disaster. Man, 4 matches and straight ads. Like I said, though, I'd rate it a 4 out of 10 at best. This was a straight disaster. This was an absolute disaster. This was atrocious. This was a joke. This was bad. But anyhow, though, before I go off on a whole nother rant, that was my review of Saturday Night Main Event. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm out.